welcome back to the journey from free-to-play nobody to self-sufficient main, episode 10. This week, we dipped our toes into the Slayer grind, mixed up the Slayer Masters, got a little bit bullied by a Pylord, and potentially, we've started our first dry streak. Lastly, before we jump into this episode, I just want to say a big thank you. We just hit 34 followers. That's fucking amazing. I really think we can hit this 100 by the end of December. So this week I finally decided to start slaying, and it wasn't as scuffed as I thought it was going to be. We did bounce between Edgefield and Caniphus, a little bit like a confused tourist walking around London, trying to decide between the two restaurants. But the tasks weren't too bad. We're at this sort of nice level where it's not super hard, super long-winded. We had some cockatrices, moss giants, lesser demons to name a few. The lesser demons were a bit awkward. I decided to range them on Commander, something I used to do back in the day. But we also got these vampires, which are pretty cool. I don't know what this ash is used for, but 1k pop, we'll take it. So the tasks aren't as glorious as they could be. I'm not going to lie, but they're starting to get there. I think by next episode, I have a little announcement about next week's episode at the end. I think we're going to hit 55 Slayer in that episode. I think that's going to be the goal. Anyway, we'll talk more about that at the end. So this is how I did the lesser demon task, and it was very painful. Back in the day, I used to range here, my brother used to range here, so I think what happened is we would stop each other from being attacked, but where I didn't have that, it was just fucking horrible. Not gonna lie, I probably won't do that again. Overall, it wasn't the worst task. It just unlocked Harpy bugs, which are pretty good fun. And levels are coming in quite quick here as well, which is quite nice. One thing I've done differently with this whole Slayer, compared to other accounts, especially on the hardcore, I've started it later. Whereas before I'd start like level 3, we've already got basically 50-50 and 43 defense. So I think that made a big difference in the enjoyability that was in the early Slayer. So I will do that again in future. I haven't decided if I'm going to, there's 54 range and 35 Slayer. I haven't decided if I'm going to get the dwarf cannon. I think I'm going to leave that up to you guys. If you want me to use the cannon, or if you don't want me to use the cannon, let me know. It makes no odds to me. I've done 99 Slayer a number of times without the cannon, as well as with. It just depends on what you guys will be doing and what you want me to do, obviously. So as far as the account build goes, my plan here is now 60 attack. I want to get 75 strength and 70 range. Defense is not a priority right now. They're going to be the main goals, and there is 36 Slayer. So those stats should get us 70 combat, and obviously we can use Daenerys or the Lost City Slayer Master. So on that subject, there's 50 attack, 62 combat. I do want to unlock the fairy rings. I don't know how far away I am, so I have just checked. I need 57 herb and 49 farming, so it's not going to happen anytime soon. But in the meantime, there is 50 attack, so I'm going to switch back to strength. And we also need a new task, so let's go and get that from Edgefield. I don't know if there's been a change to Slayer, or if it's always been like that, but the whole, you've got 10, 20, 30 monsters, etc. It's really useful. Yeah, that's really cool. Quality of life update from Jagex. We also got Harpy Bug Swarm while I'm talking. I really like this as a sort of mid or early game account. As long as you've got 40 defense, just put auto retaliate on, and you can just let them go at it. Just check the screen every couple of minutes, you'll be fine. I also want to unlock bigger and badder, I believe it's called. That one. Yeah, bigger and badder. So, for those of you that don't know, it will now spawn, or have a chance of spawning a larger version of certain monsters. I don't know all of them, but I believe it starts with pyre fiends as we get them, which is perfect. So I'm going to go back and do them now. There's 36 Slayer, 37 Slayer, and we get our first bigger badder in the Flaming Pyre Lord. Never ever killed one of these before, so I'm going to just hold on with protect from melee. Don't think there's anything else I need to do here. Yeah, it's quite easy. Some of them are a little bit annoying and do require a bit more attention, like the Necreal or Abyssal Demon. I think the Smoke Devil one as well. But yeah, this one's pretty easy, just pretty melee. As for the monkfish in the inventory, someone dropped them, so I picked them up because I thought I might not do the task with the food I had with me. The Rune Scimitar is not too bad. It's not really the GOAT, should we say. But that is our first kill, 1200 Slayer XP. You do get a chance at the Imbued Heart. I believe it's the Internal Crystal, and there's something else. I have only had one Imbued Heart, and that was on my first ever KC on my main. And I got like 24 mil for the thing. So I'm going to go back to barrows, as you can see. I just wanted a little bit of a break from Slayer. And I don't know how many chests I'm going to get. I am on a dry streak, so unfortunately it is a bit of a spoiler. You're not going to see any barrows loot this video. As it stands, as of recording, we're 33 chests since our second item. The most I have gone is 42, I think it was on my main. That was to get the first item. So I'm sort of doing barrows in the background now. And as you can see, we have changed our equipment slightly. Rather than the anti-dragon fire shield, we're using a rune kite. And instead of a mystic hat, I am using a rune helm. Don't really think the DPS is any slower. I was quite surprised. It's quite nice. I'm not going through the lobsters as quickly in the crypt. So that was a nice little pointer from last week's episode. I do need a cape, and by that I mean the Major Arena cape. And I do need to do Ava's accumulator quest. Fuck knows what it's called. Animal magnetism. They'll be the next two upgrades, I think. And what am I forgetting? Combat bracelet. I invested in combat bracelet for Slayer, and the wiki actually suggested using it as, I think, like my best option for in slot gloves. So that is what we're wearing. Yeah, I really rate it. As I say, it's slightly more tankier, so my lobsters are lasting longer in the crypt, as I said. Arrows becoming slightly quicker, which is pretty cool. We're only using one stack of arrows now, so obviously that's gonna keep going up. I think the next upgrade to arrows is obviously going to be the rune crossbow, but I haven't seen many people using it. I think they're using the Hunter's Sunlight crossbow. Anyway, I'm going to go and get the accumulator. So as you can see, just done Ernest the Chicken. Very easy but annoying quest, and I am going to start animal magnetism whilst we're here. And this cutscene's one of my favourites. It is a little bit long-winded. If you haven't done the quest, you should definitely do it. But yeah, we're gonna get a little cameo from the goat himself. Here he comes. Cow Killer Elite. Oh yeah. This is so cool back in the day when this was actually done. For some reason they thought it was Noob Killer. Yeah. Don't know where it got that from. I actually thought it was Noob Killer 4 2069. But yeah, it's nice. Cow Elite Killer. So, after the cutscene, we can get the chickens and basically complete the quest. So, I'm going to use that here, and that's going to be the quest completed. We've unlocked Ava's device, or Ava's accumulator, which picks up your arrows, and we also unlocked Fires at 38 Slayer and 9 Fletching. So guys, thank you for watching episode 10. It's been a great journey so far. Episode 11, there'll be more Slayer, more Barrows, Major Arena, and I am going to be introducing a brand new intro. I wanted to do it for this episode. I just haven't had time to finish it at the edit. I'm going to leave that there and let you guys see that next episode. And I just want to say, once again, a big thank you for everyone that's followed and watched. It fucking means the world. 34 of you crazy fuckers, it's great. Please, please, please get this to 100 before the end of December.